music always stops so suddenly. Hello, and welcome to Tales of Myth and Mayhem. Welcome to episode 8 of our Hunter the Reckoning Chronicle, Whirl and Rush. There may be horror, so be prepared, and if it gets too much, feel free to stop and watch something else. It's a shared storytelling experience. I don't know what's going to happen exactly. Last time, our hunters were jolted from their uneasy rest at the Mitford Fox by the commotion near the Thames. The Metropolitan Police were fishing a body from the river, and with some creative field improvisation by Felix, they used a small surveillance drone to capture footage of the police removing and recovering the body, and they traced it to the King's College Hospital. They launched an infiltration mission with scrubs and forged IDs, and they located the morgue and performed their own forensic inspection. Evidence confirmed that the drowning had no signs of struggle or blood loss, oddly mundane when the city so thick with supernatural tension. Escaping with the report, they traced the address of the drowned man to a disturbingly ordinary house in Luton. And it's leaving that house that we find them at the start of this session. So you have just... I know it's been about a month, and apologies to everyone for missing the last session, but we had some issues, and if everyone's not available, we can't easily run a session. As you're leaving this house that you've investigated in Luton, the house of the man who had died, you're stopped by police on your way back into London who are just checking everyone going in and out. Security forces in the area have stepped up, and they're checking you to make sure you're human, basically.
Are we traveling by vehicle, by foot?
You've been travelling by car.
Am I there?
Yes, you are. You're both there.
Do we have a...
You two had travelled and you
Yeah.
borrowed a car, or I think obtained a car, maybe a taxi,
Right.
via, I think, Lucas's generosity.
I was going to say, did it come with a driver? Or is
Let's
one
say
of us
let's say
driving?
that it has a driver, because that way I don't have to make you roll for drive, or what should be a mundane activity.
Okay. Yeah.
So on your way back to London, that happens, and they check you both over, discover that you are as human as they come, and you carry on back into London.
So another bust, another plain apartment.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said yet another bust, another plain apartment. Sooner or later, we're going to find something actionable, I hope.
Feels like there's a lot going on, and we're always one step behind.
Yes. We are orbiting a lot of shit. Or a lot of shit is orbiting us. Not sure which.
Do you get the feeling that we've been used?
All the time. Ever since we met Simon.
I really wanted to impress him.
I think you have done that. I do not think he would put up with my antics, shall we say, otherwise. I have been pushing quite hard.
May, I think you were right. I was wrong.
Might be too soon to tell.
No, we're in this. Look what's going on. They're doing police are openly doing checks for vampires outside the city. I've never seen that before.
They didn't tell you that's what they were checking for. You knew.
Oh, okay.
You used to what they wouldn't have said.
But they were looking at
Yeah, as far as they're concerned, it's an
they were looking
anti-terrorism.
at very vampire for vampire things. They were looking at
just
cheaper stuff.
They were checking.
One, two,
They
check.
were checking for a pulse. They were checking for your breathing, that kind of thing. Also, it's daytime, so you're probably onto a winner with not getting vampires for a start. But maybe not all the police know what's going on either, so they're just checking people.
So I just say to Felix, they were checking for vampires. Have you ever I know that we in our line of work we get stopped by the police a lot. Have you ever had a police officer check your pulse? Ever?
No. No, I have not. But perhaps it is not a bad thing that they start taking it seriously.
I think it's a sign that something very, very weird is about to happen, and we still don't know entirely what Simon's plan is to wipe out all the vampires in London.
No, but he likes you, and you are useful to him. So we just got to keep
Maybe we can use that. Let me think for a second.
Felix will start smoking with while you're thinking.
What
Kind of
if
leaning out the window or just filling the cab with smoke.
do
Probably
we
with
have
window.
anything that we know that we're pretty sure he doesn't?
Who knows? We don't know who he is working with and what their resources are. Apparently quite vast. You were there at the Spire. You
Yeah.
saw a pretty big display of wealth and power, I assume. So I would not put much past him. He might have been looking into us for years, or maybe only days or months, I don't know. I do not think it was happenstance.
And in that case, if we can't get something over him, maybe we should just ask him.
Ask him what?
What the plan is.
Well, people like
What?
him, they only like to give you a little piece at a time. And he himself may only have a slightly larger piece of the plan.
We've been shaking trees all over and not a lot is falling. I don't know how else we're going to figure this out.
Do you have any friends who are good at researching things? Mine have all dried up.
I mean, I have my two and my dog. I'm going to give Millie a ring. I'm going to put her on speaker. Which is the thing you can do with phones now in 2012.
It rings a little bit before Millie answers, but she does answer. Sonia, hi, lovely to hear from you. How are you doing?
Another dead end.
What did you find?
Not a lot. Another normal looking house. Millie, what do you know about this Simon guy? You put me in touch with him. You got me into this.
He works for the government, as far as I know.
In what capacity?
Runs some kind of operation or operations. He's involved with this conglomerate. He was putting together the various hunter groups, trying to get them talking to each other, trying to get them working together.
Well, that's the thing. He's got all these groups talking to each other and working together, but none of us seem to know what the actual goal is, apart from it's going to somehow result in all the vampires being gone from London. We just got checked by cops to see if we were vampires. We're talking pulse checks, looking at teeth, all of that stuff. Like, it was in the daylight, so they weren't clearly entirely clued up, but someone told them to look for those, and I've never, ever, ever had a police officer check for my pulse before.
I imagine it's kind of... They're probably trying to hide it as a terrorist incident. That's how they've been putting it in the newspapers and on the news. They've been telling everyone, it's terrorism. You should be scared of the terrorists again.
Would you be able to find out where Simon is now?
I can start looking into that.
And also, if you can dig up any dirt on, like, if he's, like, what kind of outfit in the government he's with. Like, is he getting directions from a minister? Is he working underneath? Is he like some kind of super secret, nobody in the government knows who he is type deal? Like, just any information you can get on him, but the big one, where he is.
There he is. Okay.
Felix, I think maybe it's time that you should take off what level of restraints you had. We should go to Simon, and you should go full Felix and figure out and try and get some answers from this guy.
It is always a possibility. But I'm curious, why this change of heart? previously you were happy to just kill vampires for Simon, and you seem to be quite distressed now.
Because it's just occurred to me that I don't know anything about him, and I filled in a lot of the gaps. And at the moment, he's our biggest lead. I don't have any other leads.
Yes, I did try to find out more about him. I broke into the flat, planted devices. They found them. Apparently, I was not good at that. I do not know what else we can do. We have pieces of a puzzle and no box art to go by.
Oh, Millie, call me when you have something. We're going to go to the pub, and I think... Well, I'm going to go to the pub, and I'm going to start putting pieces together. Felix, if you want to come with me, that's cool. If not, I'll see if I can work something out of what we have.
Of course.
I would not want to leave your side at the time.
I didn't want to start barking orders. I could do that because angel shit. I can sometimes a bit uppity and start bossing people around. I don't want to do that with people.
Sonia, I appreciate this about you, but my place is with you for the time being. I think it is best to stay together. I have not heard from my contacts in a while. A lot of them have gone silent. I have not been able to get in touch with Lucas either since this cab.
Okay.
Should I say anything to Seth? Just how up on things is Seth?
He's fairly up, but I kind of want to keep him out of things. But at this point, I can't shake this feeling that something massive is about to happen. And something's not right. I think, could you tell Seth to meet us at the pub and to give us another brain to have a look at all the pieces?
I will text him. I know he hates getting phone calls.
Thank you, Millie, for this.
You're welcome. I appreciate you feeling out of sorts. This is an unusual situation for you because usually it's just you arrive, you book the thing, done. If this all works, what are you going to do? Like if they get rid of all the vampires in London?
We go to where the vampires are and continue doing what we do.
Wow, leaving London. Okay.
Well, there's no vampires in London. There's still going to be vampires that are, chomping on people that need a bub.
We seem to have lost Logan. And we are without Felix.
Felix has gone to the pub.
Starting early. Seeing what's happening. It looked like something changed there, but then it didn't. Come. Don't want to progress the story too much without. I'll have to just say it again.
Well, we'll drive to the pub.
Yeah, so drive through the outskirts of London, then through central London, across the bridge.
Do we see anything weird out of the ordinary?
There seems to be more police on the street, more security forces. Just looking a bit more policed in general.
I haven't seen as many police since 7/7. Ooh. Yeah. Let's see if Logan has messaged. Oh no! Now Felix is back.
Yay!
Thought you got by some anti-vampire police.
I'm just adding you back in because otherwise people can't hear you. Where did you get a black border? That's unusual.
Yeah, sorry everybody, got black bagged by internet gremlins.
Felix came back a slightly different size than he was. There we go. Okay, you're heading into London. Sonia's noticed more security forces around in general than there were before. Felix, you get a text from Simon. Appropriately enough.
Oh goody.
We have the drone that was promised that you wanted as kind of land-based device rather than a flying device. This is something Lucas had requested. Wasn't able to get hold of Lucas. Just to let you know it's available. Come meet me. And he gives an address. And the address is on a bit of paper that I've just turned over.
That's all right. Felix will show the phone to Sonia. Like, he didn't own a phone until Simon gave him one. So that's literally all he uses it for.
Just to backtrack a little bit, Lucas had been looking for the drone in order to help with hunting down whatever's on the in the tunnels in the underground that you encountered.
Okay. Well, do you want to go meet him? You know how I
Yes.
feel about it.
Yep, I think we should. Perhaps you can ask him the questions you want.
All right, let's talk and go through what we know on the way. So, gargoyles in the underground, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Dead girl in a tree.
You've got her name as Juliet Cafferty.
Juliet Cavity in the tree. We got whatever the hell is going on at that fluorescent sign warehouse. Like, it's not zombies. What were they?
I could not tell you.
We were being followed.
The man who was in the river. We have
George
the
Reed.
empty George Reed, the empty flat that had the transformer in it, and also his spirit.
Yeah. I don't know what to think. What do you think? They seem so separate and random.
They do. I will admit, I have never been good at this part of the chase. Usually, I can dig up enough dirt that I have something to go on, but this eludes even me. And when I get in over my head, I had friends, I could talk to, who had vast libraries, had occult knowledge. I was more of a tech guy, but I've been on my own. I was grateful for Lucas, and I see now how badly we needed his help.
Yeah.
I was perhaps too hard on him.
Oh, I've somehow lost roll 20. Oh, no, there it is. Let me have a look at my stuff. What do I have to hand? Apart from my booping stick.
Felix feels slightly bad about stealing something from Lucas now, but only a little bit.
Lucas has been in touch and explained what's happening with him. So he's basically been called back into the Arcanum. What with everything that's going on, they want everyone on board, especially someone who's been living in London for some time and has local knowledge.
Okay.
What do we know about you and Dunson? The guy who owned the guy who owned the building where they were clearly filming a bunch of snuffy, weird shit.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I don't know anything about him, but Felix would be down for finding him and maybe taking both his knees out.
Can I Google you and Dunson?
It's Duncern. Just to
Duncern.
Yeah, oh gosh, you're going back in my notes a little bit here. because this is tied into lore. I stole this from actual. This name means stuff to people. Yeah, Dunsirn. Very financial family. They have a lot of money. They work with people who have a lot of money.
Any ties to the government?
Not that you can find. Although, let's get a roll on this. Let's get.
I mean, certainly Prince Andrew.
I wouldn't be commenting on that at this time.
Yeah, I think I'd be looking for like any times he like was in Parliament for an event, or any time he like shook hands, or maybe some kind of financial donations, or just. But this is Google. Like we're not talking.
Yeah, we're not going to get all the stuff. Give me an intelligence investigation, please. And that can be either or both of you.
Yeah, I don't mind aiding.
Well, if you want to help, then Sonia, take an extra 1 die when it asks if you want a modifier.
Full size modifier.
Yeah, add 1.
Sweet.
For Felix helping.
So we're just like I'm just Googling and Felix just suggesting stuff to put into the box.
Yeah.
Felix is suggesting some dark web search.
I didn't give you a success thing because it's gonna vary between how many successes you got. You got 3. What you find about this guy is that his family have been around for a while. They are originally Scottish, but they got involved in markets in America and moved over there in the sort of 1700s. They've got connections to Europe because of the financial thing. Commodities markets. They might be trying to take advantage of instabilities in Britain's relationship with Europe at this point. Double checking some stuff. They are the kinds of people who deal with finance on a very high level, but hardly ever pop up actually doing things publicly. So they'll turn up for like evening events, big celebratory things, but hard to pinpoint what they're actually doing apart from working with largely rich people in sort of oil companies and high up in finance is where they live.
This is maybe taking the piss, but I'm going to do it. Was there any like reporters or anyone in what I was searching who wrote about him?
Yeah, but it's very, very dry finance style reports.
All right.
You do find some stuff historically that looks like there's been some kind of like that name goes back a way, and it's been reported on, because they're unusually rich and they've done very well, and they still have a sort of fancy house in the Stirling area somewhere.
Okay. Wild throw I'm making here. It wouldn't happen that like if I was to Google pictures of him and then pictures of his family members from the past look very much like him.
There is a resemblance, but it is a familial resemblance, and it's not weird like that.
So it's not like one guy living for about 150 years.
No, not exactly. They do look similar, but it's not that similar.
Fair enough. Well, took a shot.
I was wondering, Sonia, like the like that weird footage that you guys found. I'm guessing there was no interest in like watching it and trying to see if any of the victims matched the ones we found, right?
Oh, we could do that, I'm sure. Do I have it on my phone?
I don't think you do. I don't think you kept it. I think there was a little bit of evidence that's what was going on, but I don't think you took the footage.
There was no actual footage. Okay. I was going to say, like, I would completely understand not wanting to subject anybody to that and just noping out. But I was like, maybe there is a connection between the victims.
I think I'd run out of the building at that point. I think it had gotten too much. I was outside having a meltdown.
Yeah, that's fair. But it might be, connected to at least some of these disappearances.
All right, I'm going to try doing some of my dark web skills on my Tor browser on my phone. And essentially going to go look around for some weird fucking snuff.
The only other thing I could think of is that maybe we could find that transformer at Lucas's place and see if we can communicate with the spirit in some way. I mean, I'm literally terrible at that, but maybe if we could convince it somehow to talk to us, we could get another lead, or find someone who could talk to it, just as another avenue, perhaps.
I think, yeah, that's a good idea. Should we do that before or after we meet Simon? Probably after.
Probably after, yeah. I would say meet Simon, and then who knows what we'll be doing after that. But at some point, I do want to crack this spirit thing. That was one of the first things that we found, like after the body in the tree. So
yeah, let's do that after.
Okay.
And then there's a plan of what we're going to do.
I don't know what we can like put out feelers in the Hunter network for someone who's good with ghosts or something. I don't know.
See, I'm trying to figure out what searching the dark web would be in terms of this, because it feels like it could be like intelligence investigation with a bit of technology as well. And
I feel like you would need a composure and resolve. I think
composure
is definitely coming up for what you might find. Yeah.
This is to my deficit. This is to my I'm arguing against my own interest here by saying I think this is a technology thing. The dark web takes some tech.
The thing is, though, I think at the level that Sonia is using technology, it's not that being technology is a potential barrier. I think it is just she's investigating and she's using this technology to do it. So I don't really want to make technology be a variable in that.
Fair enough.
So it's going to be, let's say, it's going to be intelligence investigation, I think.
+1, hopefully.
+1.
Yeah, I feel it's going to help you find some.
What's the difficulty?
I'm not giving you a difficulty again. It's going to be, this is how many successes you do is how much info you get.
3.
3 and 4. That's. You've rolled in. Oh, your last roll was intelligence.
Oh, I got an extra bonus die then. Whoops. Sorry.
I was like, why is the number different?
Intelligence squared.
Whoops.
So
if you want to take a success off to make up for it, I wouldn't.
I won't do that to you just now. We'll figure something out later. Okay, this stuff doesn't seem to be easily available to you right now. There's indicators of like sites that have previously sold this kind of stuff, but you can't get the content right now.
That's fine.
We probably have to set up some shady meet with some shady dude in a shady area under a shady bridge. He hands us like an old VHS, like in a paper bag or something.
All right, I'm going to try something. I'm going to see if there's some kind of contact form or something on one of these shady websites. The one that I know that has had this stuff in the past, and be like, I want to put a custom order in, and I want to meet you in person, and I'm going to sign it. That would be too silly to sign it as Ewan Durnson.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Simon.
Would Sonia know to do a who is, do you think?
Oh, the dark web doesn't work like that. Like, you can't really do that.
I forgot we were on the dark web. Don't worry about
it. They don't really have a register like that. No. It's like, but I'm just thinking that like these shady sites, like they want the cash. If someone's going to promise to throw around a bunch of cash, they might meet a person to discuss a custom disgusting video of some kind.
Careful, Sonia's young as well. That's going to be.
Oh God! They write back ASL.
She hangs around in weird spaces on Tumblr where people draw Pokemon having sex with each other.
Yeah.
She understands a pervy mind. And this is
plus you have a body count with that staff too, so
yeah, like
that's where you were going with that there.
Sonya's got an edge.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's warm. Vampire went a bit like this as well last week.
So yeah, I'll just send in some kind of contact box or something on one of the websites. I'll just be like, in fact, no, on all the websites that I know for sure have had this content before, I'll be like, hey, I'd like to put in a custom order, but I'd like to talk to you about it in person.
Okay.
It'll be very much worth your while.
We're going to come back to that, but not soon, because they won't be checking their email that quickly.
Let's
That's
come
fair.
back to that never, maybe.
What, you don't want to go and you don't want to go and interrogate and beat up a bunch of weirdo.
With our luck,
snuff
they just
people?
start breathing heavy in a like not good way.
Oh God, they might like it.
I'm just making a note because that's definitely coming back.
Damn it. All right, off to see the wizard, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, you get the sense that Simon may have a flair for the dramatic. Away from the river where the Mitford Fox is, which I definitely remember the name of every time and haven't written down on a card that I can see. Towards Pimlico tube station, there's book publishers. There's also a Gothic revival church from the mid-1800s. It's kind of laid out in the shape of a cross like many churches. There's a fresco over the arch depicting the Last Judgment, a mosaic, showing a kind of haloed figure seated on a cloud with angels on both sides. The church is open to the public during the day. I imagine people might go and make confession, that kind of thing. Simon arranges to meet you there. Walkable from the Mitford Fox, but if you're already in the car, you could just go straight there.
Yeah. Sounds good. Do you want to walk it?
Sorry?
I was going to say we should just walk it, maybe. You said it's walkable. Yeah, I've got all of my tricks. I got my bag with me. Smoking.
You're smoking in the church, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Simon's probably used to that by now from you. Sonia, Felix, good to see you. This is marvellous. We have your drone, and he indicates a large sort of ammo case style thing that's got quite big and boxy. There's instructions in there if you need it, but if you contact me, I can put you in touch with one of our drone jockeys who can tell you how to operate it best. We got so much information from that raid on the Shard, I couldn't tell you. We've had to hire some extra analysts to work through it. They don't know exactly what it all is. Right now they're just cross-referencing. The street teams are stepping up. We've got cover on the mainline stations, the airports. We're doing spot checks on arterial roads. Cameras operating, well, all the time, really. We don't really pay close attention in daylight hours because, I mean, why worry about it then? But we need to keep track of things. And it's not just the vampires we're worried about, we're also worried about their associates. Now, based on that list you gave us back in August, there's fewer than 1/3 of the vampires out there that we had when we started. Things are certainly progressing well.
It is certainly good news. A lot of bloodsuckers are gone.
So the drone, what are you planning to do with it?
Going to deal with the problem in the sewers.
Anything I should be worried about?
I think you might already know about it, Simon. What can you tell us?
Some of those leeches are using the sewers as places to stay. We are slightly worried that some of them might be trying to escape London that way, but we haven't currently got the manpower to start checking every possible entrance and exit from the underground sewers and the rail station, the rail system as well.
So,
Do you have anything more specific in mind?
gargoyles.
Nope. Nothing I know about. Are they a supernatural force as well?
Yeah, they're loosely related to vampires.
Great. I was unaware.
That surprises me. I don't mean to sound like I'm accusing you really, Simon, but I'm getting the impression that you know a lot more than you're saying, and...
About security forces, perhaps, but not about the world of the supernatural. This has all come to me in recent years, really.
Who are you working for?
Who am I working for? I work for a branch of the government, effectively.
Yeah, which branch?
Well, we were formed after they discovered that There were. And after the terrorist attacks earlier in the decade, and he's a bit vague about them, but I think you know the ones he's talking about. We did some work, some investigative work into who might have been involved, where they might have been influenced by, and that was the point where we discovered that our government, all of our services, in fact, had been infiltrated by vampires. And not long after that, we started putting together an operation to try and see how far that went. This is where I came into things. I was an analyst.
So, MI5, MI6?
Something of that nature, yes. We formed a new department called the Joint Threat Research Intelligence Group. We focused on cybersecurity to weaponize internet technology and online media to our advantage. And we were assisting on domestic law enforcement. We were looking for sales of firearms, drugs, people. And it was the human trafficking side that got us information on the black market trade in human blood.
Here's the thing. Well, let me start by going over what we've seen over these last few months. There's a warehouse full of neon signs and snuff movie stuff. Buildings owned by Ewan Dernson.
He was on your list.
He's a vampire.
Presumably so, but we were unable to locate him. He may have fled the country already.
Okay, that tracks. There's Julia Cafferty in the tree.
You had a connect. Oh, okay. She was mortal, as far as we can tell. I've only seen the reports from the police.
What did they say?
Dead woman. Spooky, but no one's entirely sure what happened.
Okay, do you know anything about George Reed?
Oh, yes, I wanted to speak to you about him. Right, this could be a lot more seamless. That man that they fished out the Thames yesterday, he had been following you. We have him on CCTV on the industrial estate in Walthamstow. And at the
Wow.
flat you're investigating on the Powell estate.
No sign of where his allegiances lie?
He was completely unknown to us, but judging by how things happened, it's likely he may have been an associate of some of the vampires we've been hunting.
So you did not remove him from play?
No, we haven't got that kind of power. The medical reports say he simply walked into the Thames.
So, suicide.
If you choose to believe that, I think he may have been influenced.
That's entirely possible.
Look, actually, yeah, this might be a good time. Why don't I show you what we've been doing with the people we've been capturing? Like the associates of the vampires and the vampires themselves who have been recoverable. We have a facility. Would that be of any interest to you? And just to show you I'm not hiding anything particularly. You can get some sense of what we're actually dealing with here.
I would be most interested in this.
I'll arrange something for this afternoon. Have you a car, or should I arrange someone to come and get you?
We're going. We've got some stuff to. We've got to go look into something.
Would tomorrow be better?
Or maybe we could do it after. Maybe we can meet you. Maybe we can meet like a driver or something. In town.
Oh, this place isn't
What do
in
you
town.
think?
This place is a little bit further out.
What do you think,
Tomorrow
Felix?
might be best then. Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Okay. I will have a car sent.
Thanks, Simon.
Good luck with the drone. I hope you find your gargoyle. And if you find out how to kill them, I suppose it might be useful to know.
Thank you for your assistance.
And gives you the nod and gets to his feet and leaves. You're alone in the Gothic Revivalist church.
Yep. Just
You
taking like a quick look around before we talk. Like I can see Sonia's about to talk, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
You want to give me a wits awareness difficulty 3?
yeah. I also wanted like I'm kind of like doing this, and then I'm like looking for bugs, kind of. So what's awareness?
Can I assist?
Yeah, sure. If you want, Felix, take a +1.
Oh, damn.
That's 5. There is a priest in the confessional, but you're on the opposite side of the church. There's no flipping way he can hear you from there.
That's good. I was worried about like electronic bugs too.
There's no sign of any of those around. There's not even anything you could easily affix something to.
So like Felix will be like he looks under a pew, he kind of like moves like a brazier
Yeah, there's like
around
the
a little
cushions are
bit,
being shifted, and
and he's like, okay, maybe we should be talking.
the Hassocks are all perfectly fine.
He's gonna grab the drone. Is it like on wheels? Like
No,
a
it's in a like a case. So it's like in a
yeah,
big case with a handle on top, and you can.
yeah. I was like, does it look like one of those giant suitcases that you can walk?
I think it's like with wheels on the back on one side at the back, so you could like lift the front and it'll drag along the ground.
Yeah, he's like he probably looks pretty funny with that, like he's tilting it. It's like this should come in handy. Did you speak with the gargoyle in the sewer?
I didn't see it.
No.
It was just I found loads of scratches around 7 feet up in the tunnel, and I spoke to Millie and did some research into what could make scratches that high up, because definitely not vampires as I understand them. And that seemed like most solid guess. So they might not be gargoyles. Just it's the best hypothesis I have.
Okay, I was interested in why you got this word. I did not want to display my own ignorance in front of Simon, but I have not heard of these gargoyles before, so I was curious where that information came from.
Well,
So,
something
the scratches.
something gnarly is going on down there.
Indeed.
I think Lucas had found you that information as well. Lucas had given you some stuff.
Okay. Well, I trust his information. What makes these gargoyles different? Is it like a gang name or some type of vampire? Or
Loosely related to vampires, just more bigger.
bigger? I have met what are often called ghouls, which less trouble than vampires. You were saying this is the other end of the spectrum, perhaps.
Sonia, you met some ghouls at the Shard. They were the mortals that were. You didn't boop.
Right.
Yeah, Felix is basically like, I've met the like less bad things that are associated with vampires. They're easier to take out, and then
Then maybe
sounds
the
like
scratches and actual gargoyles are a red herring. I'm not sure, but
there's something big
now we've
down
got a
there.
drone.
Making
Maybe that's something
scratches.
maybe after we're done with the flat and trying to appeal to the spirit's better nature.
I feel like
head
we got
down
this
there with the
drone. Maybe we do the drone first. I don't know, because we don't have any real plan with the spirit part, but we do have this drone, and I'm decent with tech. I'm sure I can figure out how it operates.
All right, that sounds like a plan. Let's go.
Yeah, I just feel like we've got more things in our favor with that.
We should head to Elephant Castle and start there.
Yeah, let's can we take it back to the pub, Lavaita, just for a bit? Like Felix wants to study it a little bit, so he's not like at a disadvantage trying to use it.
Very sensible.
I'll give you a hand, but my technology is 1.
Yeah, I want to like do an unboxing somewhere, not in public, and then kind of.
I'm imagining at your workbench in the basement, perhaps.
We could do it right in the front part of the pub. No one comes in, right? We lock the doors.
And you've upped the security a little bit after the incident with the drowning.
And I'll be able to help you and see if the drone has an AMD Radeon 9380, which is a graphics card I owned at this point.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I can install a steak launcher. You know?
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take a thorough look at it.
I'm not going to make you roll for this because let's be looking at a bit of technology, and it's not actively trying to stop you. So there's nothing to stop you from looking at it. It looks like a fairly robust piece of kit. It's clearly been used a bit, but it's still quite new. It's got cameras on the front to give you a 360 view potentially if you want that. It's
Does it resemble like those bomb drones that they send into buildings?
It's kind of similar. It's maybe a little bit more zippy, and it's not quite as bulky as that. So it sits quite low. I think Lucas had specified it was for spying rather than for. They weren't trying to diffuse.
What kind of like capabilities does it have? Is it just like does it do infrared? Does it do audio? Like
it's got audio. It has adaptations you can make, so if you want to make it do infrared or ultraviolet, you can probably make that happen.
Okay. What about, can we speak through it? Does it have like a speaker capability?
It doesn't, but you could possibly make that adaptation if you wanted.
Okay. I'm just trying to think ahead. I'm like, well, if we encounter something, it would be nice to be like, please don't smash the drone. We would like to talk. I think I'll fiddle with it. If it doesn't have a way to see in the dark, Felix will have to kind of engineer some way for it to do that. And then also, I'm going to look at those, like how it is mobile, because, getting around in the sewers might be a tricky deal.
It's got the kind of tank style treads, but they're up on the triangular shaped bit at the front, so it can kind of go upstairs.
I was just going to ask, do I think it can pivot up the stairs and stuff? All right, this is looking pretty good, honestly. So what say we strap some C4 to it just in case? And
do we have C4?
I think Felix has the ability to obtain some, perhaps.
Yeah, it might take a minute.
All right, well, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Felix is like, I was mostly joking. I don't think we have time. Should I roll for modification?
Yeah. Do your general mod roll for that, I think, which is intelligence and craft. Is that correct? And you get a bonus because you're doing improv weapons, so it's intelligence and craft with a +1. And I think the difficulty is usually 4 for you.
Diff 4, okay.
Okay, do you want to willpower that? Get that extra 1?
Yeah, definitely.
So, what's the result?
I'm not seeing it yet.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yeah, you got 2 successes with that. So you're up to 5.
Sorry, I didn't know a better way than to just click D10 3 times.
That did it. It did the job. Yeah, so you did a reroll of 3 dice and you got 2 successes with that, so that takes you up to 5, which is fine. Your modification has worked. It looks like it'll hold. Seems to be working well. You're getting the information back that you wanted.
Cool. Yeah. So I marked that willpower. So it looks like we've got night vision and like a speaker, maybe.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. That's great. Now we got to transport it there somehow. I don't know how conspicuous this thing looks. Like I'm like picturing the drone box from Cyberpunk 2077 or something.
I haven't seen that one,
crazy.
but I think Sonia
We can call an Addison Lee.
could
They don't
confirm.
ask any questions. We'll just tell them that we're going on. We're on our way to the airport or something.
We'll just spray paint it like hot pink.
No, hang on. We're going to the coronet. We're going to near the coronet. We'll just say that we're DJs. We're going to do a set.
Nice.
And it's our equipment.
I'd
Yeah,
love
we
to see Sonia and
totally-
Felix DJing.
We totally look like DJs. All right. Yeah, let's do this then.
So I'll call Addison Lee, which is the big taxi firm in London before Uber came along and destroyed them.
Always felt slightly classier, I felt.
What could go wrong? We're just going to go into the sewers and fuck around and find out.
I just googled Addison Lee still exist.
I think
Addison
so.
Lee still exists. They've just gone a bit more upmarket because I guess they had to.
Yeah, they're kind of the if Uber are Lidl, then Addison Lee are kind of Marks and Spencer or Waitrose.
Yeah.
Taxi takes a little bit longer than normal to get to you. There's traffic, but this is central London. There's always traffic. Timing. We're about mid-afternoon at this point. It's a Monday. Yes, it was a Sunday when you went to the hospital, and infiltrated the morgue. You get to the coronet. You find the sewer opening. Sewer opening? It wasn't sewer. Was it underground? No, it was sewer. And then they transferred to the underground.
I'm trying to think how to get this drone down a ladder.
I think it might be a case of like dropping it slowly and like handing it down.
We have Sonia go down first, and then slowly, like,
I'll happily go down first.
all right. Maybe we can drop like a flare down there or something.
Do I have a thing? I mean, I don't really have any light sources except the light on my phone.
I can improv one for us, but I just feel like my bag of tricks probably.
I feel like
one.
you'd have had something on you. No,
Yeah, Felix usually just has a bunch of that kind of stuff. Well, the most important thing was that the drone could see, but I also feel like we should also have planned on seeing.
Well, it's got. That's why it's got the various light filters, isn't it? So you can see and you've got night vision.
Yeah, on the drone, I figure like whatever we're piloting it with, I don't know, maybe has like a screen or something.
So I was thinking like a remote control of some kind, like a.
Yeah. And then so I can send it ahead to scout. Like,
that was the point, that you weren't putting your fleshy selves in the way of
right. I'm very squishy. So, but yeah, we should probably have some flashlights as well. If need be, I can make them, but we can also.
Just get us on your stick and wrap a bit of rag around it and make a flaming torch.
Oh yeah.
Actually, Sonia, does your stick give off light ambiently, or is it just whenever you're...
That was more narrative. I don't know if it's got like a mechanic thing. It was just...
I did find the little card for Raphael's light quite recently.
Raphael's light can...
Heavy impact weapon, got an edge, intelligence occult. Okay. I didn't have a note about whether
it's
it was
a shield and it does extra damage.
Let's say you have flashlights for the sake of...
I think it feels like very basic hunter tech.
Yeah, maybe even the ones that you can put on your head. So your hands are free.
Yeah, I know, like, in previous sessions, like, Felix had, like, goggly things, but I did use my improvised thing to make those, I believe.
Yeah, and I
So,
think they're not going to last for much longer.
a
I think
scene,
I'm
yeah.
counting the uses on some of this stuff, so...
Good. All right, cool. So we got torches.
Okay, into the sewers we go.
Yeah, I imagine we'll go a certain distance that we feel like relatively safe, and then when we start to feel unsafe, we send the drone. Don't want to get too far behind it.
Sonia, gonna get you to do a roll, please. It's gonna be...
Yeah, can you navigate it for us?
It's gonna be composure... Composure? It's gonna be wits awareness, please. To see how well you remember the route that you took.
Difficulty?
Let's see, 4.
Oh, bloody hell. This isn't going to go well. 3 out of 4?
That was 3 out of 4. Do you want a willpower?
I mean, yeah. Ooh, my willpower got reset, didn't it?
Not yet. We're going to when we hit the overnight. Because I've
Oh,
read
okay.
up on how we do healing. Because I've been doing it slightly wrong.
Okay, then I'm going to roll 1d10. Is that a success? I don't think it is. I think it's a failure.
It's
5,
not.
isn't it?
But you can re-roll 3 of them. So you can re-roll another one just now. And maybe the other one will come up okay. That's a success.
I remember the route.
There was a moment there where you weren't sure whether it was a left or a right, but you took the... As soon as you made the turning, you recognised where you were going. It's all fine. And you see the familiar scratches in the upper part of the walls. Point them out to Felix.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like, this is not vampires.
It's like someone's dragged something along the wall.
Yeah, I feel like Felix would need a box just to stand on to get a look at him.
You can see it from ground level.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to stand up close and like get a sense of how thick it is and how deep it is.
Yeah, I would like to look into it. It's in stone? Is that what I'm thinking?
Yeah, so the edges are rough stone at this point, but it's been scraped into the rock.
So just remind me, so like do the tunnels start off as like kind of brick and cement, that sort of thing, and then they become more natural?
They were brick and cement, but there's a couple of bits where it's more like this has been an intersect between several parts of tunnel. So you walk through a little kind of room area which had like shelving where equipment could be stored or other things could be stored out of the way of things. And on the other side of that was where you found this more rough tunnel, which maybe disused, maybe very, very old.
Yeah, that's cool. We're like in a more ancient part of the underground.
Just to differentiate, we were initially entering sewers, and you've moved through to like what could be disused underground tunnels. You can definitely hear the rumble of underground trains around there.
So, are we let the drone go ahead of us, right?
I feel like now would be maybe a good point.
Yeah, let's hang back here and see what happens with the drone.
So you're monitoring it on, I'm assuming like are you using a little laptop or a phone screen?
I would say whatever it came with. I'm gonna guess some kind of either like handheld controller thing or like a laptop of some kind. I don't know. I don't know drones.
I'm not sure either, but that's okay because we're making this up.
Yeah. I would hope for like a screen that I could see.
Yeah,
like,
that would make sense to me. Even in 2012, it wouldn't be at like the best fidelity that you're getting, but you could be recording it and then watch it back on a better quality screen later.
Oh, I bet in 1080, I'm not looking at it.
It's only 30 frames a second.
It's a bit shit, but...
Okay. I have to do a couple of rolls then.
The important thing is, what do we name the drone, Sonia?
Oh, give me a second.
Don't roll hunger for this, because it's not hungry. Drone.
Gengar.
Gengar, nice. Felix is like, I know that one. The purple guy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, I'm going to get you into those trading cards yet.
Okay.
Oh.
You see nothing on the screen for some time. The drone's continuing on its way down. It's moving reasonably quickly for a ground-based device, but it's not as fast as your walking pace, especially when you're feeling tense. Probably feels kind of frustratingly slow from your point of view.
I'm thinking of like staying 50 yards back, maybe. I don't know. How
And
far
like
do you
walking
think?
behind it almost. Okay.
I don't know how big these spaces are, to be honest, but if at all possible, I
It's
want
big
to
enough to walk in. You might be stooped
Okay.
for some of it.
I just know that some of these vampires are mighty fast, which you saw at the Strand. So a little bit of notice.
The drone ahead of you is turning a corner. There's a sort of slow curve of the tunnel. And it's very dark from that point of view as well. Like there's not regular gaps. This area isn't lit particularly. So it's hard to see. You can see what's coming off the viewing feed though.
What's coming out the feed?
You're mainly seeing black tunnel and the uneven ground. It's bouncing up and down a little bit as it's moving. Because you're using night vision, it's monochrome, so you're getting sort of black and green, I'd imagine.
Okay.
And then further around it, the tunnel opens out into a much larger space where clearly a lot of things are not collided, like a lot of other tunnels meet. It goes all the way up, and there's a sort of little bit of light coming in at the top. Maybe it's like a air duct to let air in to the lower levels. And in the little bit of light there, you see something large on the camera screen.
What can we see?
It's
Enhance.
oh, it's all pixelated. It's a creature. It's kind of bipedal, but it's leaning over. It's kind of moving as if leaning forward all the time. It's got skin that kind of is like weathered limestone. It's pitted and it's cracked, coated in sort of a permanent layer of grime. Very uneven. Some of it looks like it's been eroded by acid rain. Others look like bits of dried clay.
Can I?
Hang on, not quite done yet.
Oh, apologies.
It's got bat-like wings sprouting from its hunched back. And it might look majestic if it was opened out, but right now they're sort of scarred and partially fused, as if it's being forced to crawl more often than it can fly. There's streaks of darker sections from corroded metal and vents at the membranes, but at the end of the wings are little claws which have been dragging along the edges of the tunnels it's been passing through.
That looks like, if I had to guess what a gargoyle looked like, Felix, that looks like a gargoyle.
It sure does. He checks his tack watch for the time.
So how do we play this? I mean, it doesn't look like... It looks like it's stuck here.
Do you know if they are capable of speech or reason? Did Lucas say anything?
I don't know. Can I do some kind of an occult roll? I don't think. No, don't. I don't know if my vampire bonus would help here, but like
it is a vampire of a sort, so it would do. Let's say intelligence occult for background knowledge, and take a +1 for your specialism. A lot of +1s today. You're really digging into this.
you know how players are.
Mm-hmm.
6 successes.
Good grief.
Whoa!
Okay. How to reward
I know my
that?
shit.
That is, yeah, you do. From the stuff you read at Lucas's, this kind of vampire is very rare. You don't often hear about them at all. it was theorized that maybe they died out or something, but they suddenly stopped appearing. They had existed for a while, then they suddenly stopped. The documentation you found isn't sure why, and it can't really explain why there's one now. They're not unintelligent creatures, but they tend towards the simplistic. They tend towards being given a command and left to do a job. I think the word used in the original text would have been something like a sentinel.
Is it, or is the room around it dressed or decorated in a way that suggests like a time period or any sort of personal interests?
It's not, because this is it's passing through, so it was on its way out of that space as you saw it, which is why it hasn't turned and gone for the drone.
Okay.
I did.
And we haven't like
that.
found a lair or anything that would
No,
indicate.
but it's probably not far from here. It might be heading in that direction. Just, it's. Sonia, from what you know about it, these things tend to guard things, or protect something, or it's that kind of role. In the same way that they sort of the stone ones protect buildings, in a sense. But this is just doing it much more literally and actively.
So we should be careful not to get its attention. Perhaps we can follow it though. If the drone hangs back.
Yeah, let's see what this thing's doing. It's clearly guarding something down here.
Yes, and guardians can be violent if disturbed.
Yeah.
3, 4. How have I not got enough dice? This is not okay. I've not got enough dice to do this roll.
I know that you said the drone was kind of made for spying. I don't know if that means
it's not completely silent. That's the
stealth. Yeah, I was gonna say.
This is why I've been doing rolls, and I just need to do another roll now. And I don't think I have enough dice to do without using hunger dice.
Is there a way to I don't know, influence how quiet it is by?
You can have it move slower. That's going to be about it. And even then, suddenly, turning or anything will make a noise.
Sure. All right, let's go slow and give it a little more room.
Okay. For that, I'm taking 1 dice off its roll for wits awareness to see whether it spots the drone. Okay, it doesn't. You're fine for now. It takes a route out of that large area, which probably feels gloriously cool, which is maybe just me fantasizing about being gloriously cool right now, and moves off down another tunnel. You follow it with the drone. How far back are you both?
I'm still maintaining a good distance.
Okay.
Sonia, well, as we're pretty far back, still keeping his voice really low. Felix is if it does turn dangerous, did Lucas or your research have any way to defend against it, or is there anything we should know about what it can do?
I can't remember if that came up last time.
Because if it was a normal vampire, I feel like we've got some experience, but with this
thing is made of stone.
Right. I don't know how effective bullets, stakes, machetes, fire, any of that stuff is going to be. So
I know that holy water in this setting isn't necessarily as powerful as you might think it is, but this is a thing made of stone. And over time, I mean, in Pokemon, water beats stone. Water is super effective against rock Pokemon. So,
well, back when Lucas and you said that it might be some kind of stony or brittle thing, Felix had started to work on some sonic devices that he was hoping might be able to, I don't know, match the resonance of it or something like that. And I don't think he got very far on it. It was a project he was working on. So I don't think it's anything that I could bring to bear, but it's something to keep in mind that we don't necessarily have to fight it if we could get away. Now that I know that it's limestone, that might help me fine tune some kind of device that might help. But I don't know. I guess he wants to know what Sonia's goals are, because he kind of was like, okay, well, we've got confirmation. There's this thing here.
This thing is guarding something. I think our goal should be to figure out what it's guarding.
Well, we might be best served in that case to retreat and get some kind of flying drone, or I don't know, see what else we can do. Did you want to follow it all the way through?
You are good at doing the sneaky, right? You are good at infiltrating and that kind of thing.
I just like to know what I'm up against before I'm up against it.
Well, I have a plan that fits my particular skill set and may enable you to fit yours.
Okay. I'm open to hear it.
I distract it and take it on a merry chase. When you look around to see what this thing is guarding.
So, how many flaws in this plan would you like me to point out?
All of them. In great detail, please.
Separating increases our chance of death like exponentially.
Yes.
You can run. There's no guarantee it will follow you. And if it decides to go for me, I'm fucked because I've got short little legs. I can't go very quick. Also, I'm smoking all the time and may have early stage emphysema.
So what you're saying is a great plan.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I don't want to rob you of your chance to do something cool and smashy. I'm just concerned that I'm going to watch Sonia die as I ride away on a drone.
Sonia, in case this helps, because I don't particularly want to see you character die either. The role for this would be dexterity and survival. How would that be looking for you?
I would have 2 dice.
How are you feeling about that?
I don't feel great about that.
So I do like to play dangerously, and if this is what we want to do, I'm cool with it. But
I figured that seemed to be like, it felt like the only option if we chose to stay and investigate. If that's the worst option and the only option, then it would be better to back away and maybe try to get some schematics of below the coronet of like these tunnels and see if we could figure out roughly guess where something may be that this thing is guarding.
Yeah, Felix agrees. He could think of like several courses of action that might be useful. Like we could back off, have the drone map this out so we can get back down here on our own, no problem. We could try to figure out a way to draw it off where we're not using Sonia as bait. Maybe some kind of noise making device that it follows. Hell, I could probably whip one of those up in 2 or 3 minutes. Some kind of noise emitting small thing that it could chase. And then we wouldn't have to split up.
Oh. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. It's still dangerous. We don't have to leave and we could stay in the scene.
Yeah.
We can stay together.
See, Michelle wants to do something like that because it would be funny. But Sonia, I could imagine, would be like, I don't know.
I feel like she's itching to hit this thing with a stick, and I just don't know.
Well, Sonia's likes hitting things with sticks, but there's also a bit like, well, there could be like 50 vampires in the next cavern for all we know.
Right. Or this thing could hit like a Mack truck.
Yeah, like it could be instant death. I think maybe we could call reinforcements.
We could retreat to a safer part of the tunnel too, yeah, and try to get some. We could beam Simon this info that we've got, maybe.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's see.
I feel like Felix's very last plan and like a string of plans would be like use Sonia as a distraction as he escapes. But it's definitely not his first plan. Like that's not.
Yeah, it's a bad plan, but we've got a good one now where we beam this to Simon and see what he says. And I don't know if I trust him. I don't know entirely what's going on, but I'm vaguely convinced that he doesn't either.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Felix's take on it is he's never trusted him. I don't think he's gonna start trusting him, but that trust isn't necessary all the time. You know, if you know that your interests align, he's willing to go with it for now. And Simon has been useful, so we just keep an eye on him as best we can, I guess.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything to lose by pointing out that there's a gargoyle down here. We've got video evidence of that now. Let's beam into Simon and see what he says from a safe distance.
Yeah, I think we should send him. I don't know how sending stuff works back then, but we probably would need to extract ourselves from the tunnel so that we have some kind of service, I would imagine.
You've got two bars at the moment.
Right.
On your phone, Sonia.
So I'd say if there is some kind of memory card, I'll stick that in my phone if it fits. I don't know why the drone would have a memory card that would fit a fucking HTC Hero. No, it's an iPhone now. It's an iPhone. They don't have room for SD cards, so I can't even do that. Fucking Apple with their closed fucking systems. This is exactly why Apple is bullshit.
Well,
sometimes.
We know that the drone was streaming footage to us. And I don't think it's too far of a leap to say that we could record that footage.
Yeah, or it was writing to SD card internally.
Right. So.
All right. Well, my place isn't too far from here. I got my computer. I can totally.
I think the only question is, do we think that we followed it far enough that with this information, Simon or us or somebody could then get back to this point and then find the lair? Or do we need to follow it more so we can pinpoint the lair?
Let's follow it more.
Yeah. All right. I'm down with a little more. And then we hightail it. So.
Hell yeah.
And then upload the footage. Okay. I like this. We might die, but let's live a little before we do.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I'm going to roll for the gargoyle. Can you roll wits and dex? That doesn't work. That's one thing. Oh, what? I had it in my head, and it's gone. It's going to be. You're
Wit.
doing. It's going to be dexterity, and I'm just a dexterity technology. I think.
Yeah, that sounds fair because I am using tech, and I am trying to maintain a distance. Those things work. Yeah, I'm giving it a shot.
So when I'm doing something, and I'm pulling it off out of my head like that. I'm just going, is that the right thing? And I've said this to the other group as well. If you think of a better role that works better for you, and you can justify it narratively, I'm open to it. That's.
I might make a pitch for composure, only because I feel like this is a pretty hairy situation.
I think composure is going to come into it as we get closer.
Okay.
Potentially. Depending on how you play it.
Cool.
So it's going to be 3 and 6.
And sorry, is it just a straight roll or is there?
It's against me.
Okay, so just leave default difficulty.
Yeah. You got to be a 5.
I can assist maybe. I'm very good at video games. Up too late, fair enough.
Well, you can roll another D10.
I don't need to. 6 successes.
Successes, yeah, you've beaten it. So you've successfully followed it into the next area. It is not aware of you at the moment.
Heck yeah. Ooh, this is getting tense. What is this next area?
So it's passed from the large space through a tunnel to a different large space. It looks like this one has been used to an extent. There's a couple of it's like I've forgotten the word for it right now. Storage container. Got there in the end. That's been pulled in and is being used as a hard to say from the outside. It looks like a storage container, but there's a door. It's been opened. It's wide, and the gargoyle is outside it. It's the first thing you've seen that looked vaguely habitable since you've been following it.
Awesome. So from this distance, can we access any sort of GPS or something so we I know we're deep underground, so any sort of surface landmarks we'd have no idea about. But I don't know if we'd be able to figure out
That's a
where
9.
we
You've
were.
got signal enough to get a GPS your location, yeah. I'm not going to
Heck
give you the
yeah.
number because I can't pull that out of my head right now, but like you
We'll
know
try.
where you are.
All right.
And you can
Do
get
they
back
had Google Pins? I don't know.
No, let's say you can obtain a longitude and latitudinal reference
Okay.
that you can use
Perfect.
later.
Heck yeah. Sorry. So it's standing in front of this container. We can't
Yeah.
see beyond.
Not from here, no.
Okay. Is this good enough, Sonia?
So there's a container.
In
So
this
we're
room,
pretty sure
yeah.
that's what it's guarding. Maybe we wait to see if it goes, and we sneak up and see if we can take it close and look ourselves at the container. Well,
All right.
with the drone, maybe wait to see.
While we wait, far behind the drone, I think I would like to cobble together some kind of distraction device. I'm not saying I'm going to implement it, but I'd like to make an improvised gear roll.
Okay, give
So
me
that
int craft difficulty 4 again, please.
yeah, I think he wants to like craft some kind of rat-like thing that could scurry and make a lot of noise.
Is roll 20 being weird?
Roll 20 is being dramatic.
It's trying to build the tension for us. 4, you nailed it. You have a small rat-sized noisemaker.
Okay.
Is it on like little wheels, I'm imagining?
Yeah, I picture it's like uses like a remote control car as like a base or something like that. And then it's just got like a dead rat looking kind of covering.
There's probably
And
dead
then
rats around if you wanted to like...
Oh man, totally. And I think I've rigged it so that it can play like whatever song I want it to loudly. And so I'm like, what kind of song, Sonia? Like Ride of the Valkyries, Midnight on Bald Mountain.
1 sec.
Somebody that I used to know.
Somebody that used to know.
That was the biggest song in 2012.
Do you have Kanada from the Akira original soundtrack?
How does that one go? Oh, is it the breathing one? Oh,
Boom,
that's
boom,
creepy.
boom, 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 boom,
Okay,
boom.
that might be cool. All right, so I've got that prepped. So if this thing turns and is looking like it's going to come towards us, I'm going to send that thing down a tunnel
Okay.
at max volume while we go the
It's
other
going to be
direction.
very atmospheric. It's
Yeah.
very
But-
pounding, unsettling song.
Yeah, we're not deploying it yet. We're watching what it does.
I love that we're doing theatre of the mind with an actual soundtrack.
Yeah, because it's got like, is it taco? What is that drink
Taikos.
called? It's got tacos. It's just a
Just crunch,
send a
crunch,
taco
crunch,
down
crunch.
there.
Okay, so you're gonna have the drone get a little bit closer. What's the intention here?
Oh, I was leaving the drone as is. Like I wasn't
Okay.
inching it any forward.
Oh, yeah.
It seemed like it had
you're
a
gonna stay still and watch it.
yeah. It looked like it had a view of the
Got
thing
you, got
outside
you.
of the storage unit. So I just want to see what else it does
Okay.
without moving.
It moves from a stooped position to more of a sort of seated position, quite like you've seen on gargoyle statues. You know, when you see them on the sides of buildings, often spouting out water. Probably very undignified now that you know that there's actually a real gargoyle thing. It sits there and stays there. It looks like a statue, but you can hear sort of a rasp of its breathing.
Okay, so it looks like this is as far as we go, unless you want to get in the container. I feel like that might be pushing our luck.
Sorry, I say breathing. It may not be breathing. It's just there's an occasional noise that's a bit like escaping steam. I'm just being very careful with like my terminology because vampires don't breathe.
Right,
I don't think we're going to be able to get into the container with the drone, right?
right.
It's
Well, what I'm
gotta-
thinking is there's a risk that when we start to retreat, it's going to notice the sound, right? And so at that point, I would deploy the rat Well, hopefully we make a hasty getaway. Yeah. It's either that or I deploy the rat to draw it off and we have a look in that container and see if we can't get killed tonight no matter what.
I think we're here. Shit's going down. Tensions are rising. I think we've got to make a big swing. I think we should throw the thing and we should check out what's in the container while we're here. Worst case scenario, we could still just turn and peg it. You know, we could still fucking peg it.
All right.
Fuck the drone. We'll leave the drone and
Felix
go.
He's like, okay. You could tell he doesn't like this plan, but he's willing to do it. He
remove the hard drive. We'll remove the hard drive from the drone, so we got the video footage.
Oh, well, I was imagining. I don't know. To me, it makes more sense that the recording like card or whatever's in the handheld device.
Okay, if that's how you want to do it, that's an option that you can have.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I don't know why you'd leave it in the drone when the drone could get blown up. You know
I imagine the thing of not sending it back as like an uncompressed file.
All right.
But that's probably me just being wrong.
So you're explaining your plan, Sonia, and Felix is just nodding as he literally smokes the rest of his cigarettes in the pack. Just like he's got a bunch of them. Okay.
Look, worst case scenario, we fucking run.
Yeah. All right. I think we're going to do this plan. We're going to deploy the rat. Let's I don't know. I don't know if there's a place to hide. It's probably just an open tunnel, but
does it have a delayed? Can it have a delayed reaction?
I mean, I'm sure it'll play when I tell it to play. You know, just like boop.
That's cool because it'll just start playing away from where we are.
Hopefully, see.
This is a great plan.
That remains to be seen.
This might be the greatest plan that's ever been made, ever. I think. I think this could be the best thing we ever do in the game.
Getting crushed to death by a giant stone gargoyle would also be a fun time. So.
I was not expecting this level of monster. Yeah.
Well, we did bring Sonia, who's very chaotic.
Yeah. Okay. So the plan is to deploy the little rat guy, rat bot.
Yep.
To distract as you retrieve the drone, or are you trying to move the drone further in to see into the?
I think the plan was to get footage, like to send the drone in for that last bit of info that we could squeeze out of the scene.
Okay. Can you just give me a D10 and try and get more than 6 if you can?
Is that right, Sonia? Was that the plan, or did you want to go in like bodily?
Yeah, it's important that I know what the plan is before we start doing rolls for how this works out.
I was thinking that we would be able to see more of the drone, and maybe if this really works, get close. I mean, I don't know. It's I guess let's go with the drone first and see what happens.
Yeah, I think in stages, right? So send out the rat, see what happens, and then from there we determine if we send in the drone or if we go in ourselves. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Okay. How does that sound to you, Lavaita?
Do you recall? You do it how you want to do it, and I'll tell you what happens. We'll roll dice and we'll find out what happens.
So,
something wonderful.
Are there like other branching tunnels, or am I just making that up in my head?
So there's a way in, there's a way out, and the containers kind of sit back inside this large space. There's a large space with one exit, and you're behind the entrance, as it were.
So, is there only one way for this to go? Because that would be a terrible idea. If like the only exit is past us.
No, there's another exit on the opposite side.
Oh, okay.
I should have done a map or something. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just trying to imagine it because I'm like, if there's just one tunnel.
Yeah, I can see why you might. Where are you going to send the rat? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
All right. Cool. I don't know. Let's roll these dice.
Okay, so give me a 1d10 for the deploying of the rat. I've already rolled for wits and awareness for the gargoyle. Yeah, that's going to work.
Not loving that.
Okay. What happens is that it starts making a noise before it's supposed to. So as you let go of it, the track starts playing.
Shit. I'm gonna start going back down the hallway.
It's a little bit overpowered, and it fires off slightly faster than you expected. And the fast movement coupled with the sound of the thing, the gargoyle, when it sees it, is less bothered by where it's come from than where it's going to. And I have to do another roll now.
I think Felix is not breathing at all at this point.
I'm holding my stick.
Okay, I'm rolling really badly for the gargoyle, just to let that be known.
I'm devastated.
It follows the little rat bot.
Yeah, the gargoyle's a dumbass.
Sick. All right.
I mean, actually, the worst stat is social rather than mental. But yeah, fair.
Well, right, we don't have much time because this little rat thing is not. It's not like it has a mind. Like it probably has like the what are those like Roombas? Yeah, like it's like Roomba.
Yeah, it's a sped up Roomba, effectively.
All right, send the drone in. Go.
Okay, drone away.
The drone comes round and you can start to see inside the container. And it's tough to start with because it's kind of up high. There's like desks and stuff inside. It's like a desk along one whole level. It looks for all the world like some kind of chemistry lab. And there's like equipment like and bottles. And, sorry?
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. I just was asking if anything looked like an active experiment or if it's all like dusty and old.
It's not dusty and old, but it's not active. There's no one using it right now. You can't really tell on the screen much of the detail. It's just that it's full of equipment that looks moderately fancy, and it probably isn't entirely stuff you'd recognise either. Also, there's occult symbols on the wall.
Okay, I'm making sure to get good footage of the symbols. Any books or anything like that, just the titles, whatever. I'm trying to make it slowly scan and make sure we get detail on this stuff.
The book title isn't as clear as you would like because it's quite worn, but there's like a couple of old sort of hardback books like the kind you'd get from the 40s, 50s. Do you want to try and take it with the drone, or do you want to just get a read on what the title is?
Can the drones do that? Do they got like...
Maybe this one can't, actually, thinking about it. I think we'd have specified a grabby hand.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been established. I feel like it's a little too good to get
it's a looking thing rather than a bomb defusal type deal. No then.
Okay, Sonia, what do you think? Like, you can see this too, right? Any of those symbols make sense to you?
This is where I'm at a loss because I, Michelle, can't see them.
Or the book
That's
title.
okay.
Yeah.
We can do a roll and see whether you recognise them based on stuff you know. I think it's... just double checking. It'd be an intelligence occult. But it's not necessarily vampire, so you don't get that bonus for it this time.
Difficulty?
It's probably going to be 6.
All right.
Bloody hell.
I can't see what I got.
You got 6.
Holy shit, you crushed it.
You got a crit.
God dang.
I'm a genius.
Yeah, those two under the little dots on them.
I'm starting to think so. You're like an occult savant.
I'm good at 2 things. Knowing certain things about vampire-y things and hitting things, and that's it. I can't do anything else.
This is some kind of blood sorcery, thaumaturgy. Someone's been trying to do some kind of magic in here. Something involving blood.
I think it's time to get the hell out of here.
How far away is the gargoyle? Like, can I get?
It's not gone that far along the tunnel, and you can hear it starting to return. The music has stopped.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah, let's
go.
book it.
Can we take the drone? Can we get the drone back with us?
It's slow.
Do you want to try and take the drone back?
Is it a loss or what? Because
your call. You want to try and get it or not?
Well, if somebody more intelligent than the gargoyle comes back and sees that there's a drone there, that might persuade them to move on and go somewhere else.
I'll start the self-destruct sequence.
That's self-destruct sequence.
This is why you put C4 on it.
Oh, right. Yep.
When the gargoyle grabs it, kapoom!
Give me a composure technology.
Woo.
I did not expect to be using that today for this, but here we are. Gone weirdly silent because you've both muted yourselves and I haven't seen a roll yet.
Sorry, I always
mute myself. Just like, no one's talking.
Because I have to like navigate away and click
I get it. I've been that person, but also now I'm holding that. Hey everyone, you're watching us be completely silent.
Yeah, as I stare into the far distance and click stuff. What's the difficulty?
Let's say 4.
Okay.
It's tricky, but you got good skills. And I need to take another drink.
5 of 4.
Nailed it. You got the drone back. But you can hear the gargoyle returning. I think you might want to have to book it at this point.
Yeah, I'm moving as fast as my stumpy little legs can carry me.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here and go back to my place. My place isn't far from here. Let's go.
I'm imagining.
Just give me a real quick dexterity athletics.
Yeah, I was going to say
try not to whiff it.
Yeah, and then if it does catch onto us, we still can maybe send the drone in as distraction.
It hasn't noticed you. It doesn't know you're there, but like just in case, because you are running, carrying stuff.
Dex and what was it?
Athletics.
Okay.
3.
3's enough.
Oof. Let's see. This is not going to be great, guys.
4.
What? Oh my gosh.
You beat.
Wait, you rolled dexterity and dexterity.
Oh crap. All right. Hold on. Round 2.
I'm checking for that now.
It's Dex and what? Dex and
athletics.
What's your athletics? Athletics 2, then.
It's only 1.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
You got 5?
What?
You got a crit.
But I rolled 3 dice. Oh, I rolled
3 dice and got a crit, so you got 5.
Oh my God.
You beat me.
So Sonia's running, but somehow Felix, carrying the drone, overtakes her.
It's the fear of imminent death.
Jesus, good grief.
I have to roll another quick wits awareness for the... And this is a big dice pool, and it's just completely failing each time.
What did I say? This might be the greatest plan that's ever happened.
I don't have to run faster than the thing, just faster than
Sonia. And again, absolute terrible. That was only 4, so it's not noticed you. It's gone back and collated itself. Okay, how you managed that, I'm not sure, but the dice were clearly in your favor tonight.
All I know is when we go hard, we do really well, but when we try to like middle of the road it, we fail. So like when we talked our way into the morgue, and just bullshitted the whole thing. It was great.
And honestly, like for people watching, I am doing the proper rolls here. I'm not fudging it, I promise you. Because it would still be an interesting story beat. If I just
love it because you guys like were part of that assault on the shard, and that went really good for you guys too. But it's like whenever we try to do something basic, we fuck it up.
That's how the dice beat. Are you leaving the sewers outside the coronet at this point?
Yeah, I'm suggesting that because like my home is not that far from here, we could take the video footage, send it on to Simon, and get Millie to watch it.
Yeah, I want to make copies of it too, in case something happens to us. The information is still available to other hunters. Like, I think I would send.
I can do that on my gaming computer.
You could send it to Lucas, perhaps. He might be able to stick it with the Arcanum.
Yep, I was gonna say send some to him, and I was gonna send some to my my touchstone as well.
Oh yeah, of course. Great call.
Just so, like, again, if we die horribly, the sum of hunter knowledge has grown. At least we can.
I like this is. I mean, this has potential to be a really silly idea, but it also has potential to be a great idea. Should we stick the video on YouTube?
Why?
Because then it's up there forever. Millions of people will see it. Then no one can ignore it. Then, but then but then there's gonna be loads of people that go try and go down there and like fuck it up. And then
I feel like
also
that's a good way to get like Simon and his friends to kill us, though.
that is also a good way to alert the person or people involved in the experiment and just be like, "Oh, we should move on. We should not be there anymore."
Well, I think there's a reason why the Inquisition is not being overt with this stuff either, right? So
Not
there's
called the
obviously
Inquisition yet, but I get you.
oh yeah.
Okay, not all my ideas are solid, but
Like I like it.
But 100% of the ideas that we do that come from me have been successful. So I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm into the idea of a hunter committing a masquerade violation and then being.
Yeah.
The Masquerade
getting
isn't for us.
hunted
The
by
masquerade violation
vampires.
isn't yours. It's the thing that got caught. Especially given what the vampires are bringing down upon themselves at the moment.
So yeah,
They might be a little busy at the moment.
yeah. So
Yeah, but we're
head
gonna
back to my place to start making copies and getting Millie's take and sending it on to Simon and being like, "Fucking gargoyle, told you."
Fucking gargoyle.
Fucking gargoyle. What'd I say? Gargoyle.
As you leave, it's getting late in the day. It's sort of 5-6 o'clock in the evening. The sun's going down because it is March. You head to Sonia's flat, which is shared with Millie. She's very pleased to see you after you sounded a bit scared earlier on in the day. The drone's got some dirt and dust on it from the exertions of the afternoon.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely like cleaning it up. Like knocking mud out of the treads, making sure it's in tip-top shape.
Okay.
So yeah, using Proton email, I will send the video to Simon and be like, and all I'll send is an emoji of somebody going with been big in like 20 size font, fucking gargoyle under the coronet and elephant and castle, guarding a blood lab.
Now, you have the longitude and latitude for it.
coordinates.
Are you telling that to Simon as well, or are you keeping that to yourselves?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Are you sending the longitude and latitude to Simon, or are you keeping that to yourselves?
I'd like to hold on to it. Also, I kind of want that book before they get to it. But
We've got to
something
figure
to
out.
talk
Well, if
about.
that's we're going to keep this to ourselves, we've got to figure out how to go into that lab and grab as much shit as possible to see what the hell they're working on. I think that's like one thing I almost suggested doing when we were there, but it would have been very silly. We would have died immediately.
Oh yeah,
We need to get a sample of whatever weird concoction they're making in there.
I'm thinking two things: either even bigger distraction, part 2, or some way to take it out. But I don't know enough about its weaknesses or strengths or anything first. So
Could be time to make
Like-
use of Lucas's library then.
right, like
do
Felix
have-
is like, I don't know if it drinks blood. I don't know if we can bleed it. I don't know if that stone is just on the surface. Is it, you know what I mean? There's a lot of questions. So I don't really know how to tackle this thing.
Oh no, I don't. I took that out. For a while in character creation, there was a very, very minor library of tomes and stuff in my flat, but that doesn't appear to be on my sheet. So I guess I didn't take that. So don't have anything. All I've
Like,
got
I'll
is
tell
Millie.
you, just gut instinct. Felix is like some kind of concussion grenades, and then like we have sledgehammers too, or something, like some kind of impact.
Sonia,
So
I do have library on my paper sheet for you.
Oh, where is it on the sheet?
It should be in. It might be on the second page. Let me just. I haven't got Roll20 big for myself right now. It should be in where advantages and flaws would be if it was a vampire sheet.
Advantages. Okay, advantage, Millie the Mentor. Advantage, tiny stipend of money from the Minders Council, which mostly gets swallowed up by,
Mm-hmm.
rent, bills,
Yeah, no, I'm
and
seeing it. You've got.
stakes. Background, safe house, a 2-bedroom flat situated
Maybe
in
we did
zombie
take it
block.
out. Maybe it was when we added Seth.
Yeah, Seth is yeah, that makes sense because yeah, it was a very minor library and Seth was a late addition. So yeah, that makes sense. So you know what? I'll just I'll start going down the subreddits.
Oh,
There's going to be some place where people may speak in some kind of code, I can imagine, or some where there are people talking about the world of darkness who know something. They may not be very good. Half the information may be total bollocks, but it's what I
can you
got.
give me a witness investigation for just stuff that you find, please?
I'm discerning from like the absurd shit and the truth.
That's going to be a separate thing afterwards.
Okay, so what was the role, sorry?
Intelligence, investigation, and then wits awareness for the making sense of the information you find. But obviously, if you get low intelligence investigation, then you don't find that much in the first place.
Intelligence investigation, 3 successes.
Okay, and then if you give me the thing I just said, which was wits.
Awareness, wits.
Yeah.
1 crit.
You only got 1 though. You need to get 2 for it to do anything.
I have 1 willpower left.
If you want to use it, you can, but this will be
okay. What if I use up my last willpower? What happens? Something bad?
No, because you basically, if you lose any more willpower after that, you start taking not critical is a better word than that. Aggravated. Thank you. You start taking aggravated willpower damage rather than superficial willpower damage.
Go big or go home. I'm going to spend that willpower. Let's do it.
Okay. Reroll up to 3.
I can only reroll 1. Oh well.
No, okay. Just do me a roll 3d10 command.
Oh, so I should roll 2 then.
You should be able to reroll 3.
Oh, a 2 and a 10.
Okay, that'll give you an extra success. So let's say 2 successes then, with that willpower spend.
This is what happens if Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a fucking weeb.
Okay, what you found is some urban explorers who are saying that people who have explored that area sometimes don't come back, and there's people who are missing as a result of this. So you found missing persons in the urban explorer community. People think it's made up, people think it's bullshit, that those people never existed in the first place, or that they are homeless, or that they've left town for whatever reason. But there's a lot of doubt cast on it, but you're like, sounds like people might have died checking out this area of the underground.
Nothing about what would maybe hurt or kill it.
Not on the Reddits.
Then, in that case, I'm going to turn to Felix and say, okay, I need you to hear me out, okay? In Pokemon, water is super effective against rock, and there is a reason for that. What erodes rock? Water.
Yes.
Admittedly, over time. Now, this thing was cracking and arched forward. I don't think it was in the best of shape. I'm thinking if we could basically get the thing drenched in combination with some kind of scientific doohickey, like maybe some kind of, like you said before, sonic vibration tech or something. Those things in combination could really do a number on this thing.
Yeah, I don't know the water part. I feel like the time. Well, I mean, there are there are tools that focus water so fine that it cuts through rock, right? Like they use it in quarries and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
Like water jets. I'm not sure. Like, I don't think that's kind of portable or anything like that, you know? I think anything less than that is just going to be like, great, now it's, wet rock as it pummels us.
I just had an idea. Last year, in game I'm talking, last year, not last year as in 2024, but last year, there were riots in North London. In fact, no, that was actually quite recently, isn't it, in the game?
That was on the actual night that you were delivering the package.
Boris Johnson was on the news saying he was basically saying he spent loads of money on water cannons that never got used. Because, the Human Rights Act. But there's 2 water cannons in the Metropolitan Police House somewhere. If we just get one of them, that's got to really fuck this thing up, right?
Break into the police and steal a water cannon.
Well, yeah. No, we've got a friend in government, Mr. Simon. We get him to give us them. Like, he might have that kind of reach. Boris Johnson's not using them because, he's being shitted on in the press for kettling everyone all the time. So, real things actually happened. But that's the thing. That was a summer of just like everyone being like, oh, God.
Yeah, and David Cameron's Prime Minister, and it's all going, it's all going great. Everything's going to be fine.
All right. Water cannon backup plan.
Okay, so as night falls, you 2 are researching in Millie's library.
I am using up all my willpower just arguing with people on Reddit being like, come on, tell us everything.
I mean, to be fair, I've been on Reddit. It definitely depletes my willpower.
I've been downvoted. I'm being downvoted so hard I've lost all my willpower.
Actually, that would be a social thing. That works completely in the systems that we have. Felix, you're looking for more information on gargoyles.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if he would, because he doesn't have like occult, resources available to him that way. So I think he would just come at it from a brain point of view, where he's like, "What do I actually know?" And I'd be like, "Well, it's stony. I assume it needs blood like other vampires. So if I can crack the stone, maybe it'll bleed, and maybe that will help hurt it." But he doesn't know, like he's thinking bludgeoning stuff, like blunt stuff. So that's why he was like fragment grenades, like frag grenades, something that has like a concussive force might fracture it. He likes that like the water idea, but I just don't think we could get something that could cut in a timely fashion. You know what I mean? I feel like we'd just be like slowly drilling it as it's like beating the shit out of us.
All right, new plan, water cannon, but we fill it with acid.
It's just, yeah, again, like if the acid worked like an alien, yeah.
Blue skying. I'm just blue skying over here.
Yeah, I think Felix with tech would know that acid is very slow too. Like it might get steamy. Yeah,
Evee is a good person to talk to about this kind of thing. But we might be missing the hill from the trees here because I'm going to watch the video again. I'm going to look at what's in that lab again, give a real proper look at like all the bottles and concoctions and try and maybe get Millie on side.
If all else fails, we get like a union of bricklayers or something down there, some mallets.
Yeah, I'd like to really, really examine the video and see and have a look at like what is going on in that lab, like what they trying to work out to the best of my ability what they could possibly be making.
There were symbols and there was like a book title, so we might be able to factor those into the search.
Yeah, what's the book title? If I
didn't give you it because I haven't got it right now, but I will give you it and it will be searched and you will get the information from it by the next session.
You didn't expect us to get that far, did you?
I didn't expect you to do this. You didn't think
my plan was going to work, did you?
I don't think anybody thought the plan was going to work, but then we rolled really good.
You did. I think we're coming to the end of our session, but before we stop, so I want to make sure we've done this right now that I know how to do it right. If you've got any superficial damage, you can remove that based on what your stamina is. So you can remove stamina equal to No, you can remove superficial damage equal to your stamina. You can remove superficial willpower damage, which is the willpower you've used up, equal to either your composure or your resolve, whichever is highest. So I think
I can
Sonia, you
remove
can get
3.
3 back. And then the next day, you can get another 3 back until you've refilled it.
All right.
None of you have been
Cool.
hospitalized. I don't think you've got damage to yourselves yet.
Not yet. I'm sure it's coming.
We haven't got social or mental conflict yet either, so that's good. Apart
We're getting
from
like a house on fire.
apart from Sonia on Reddit.
Yeah. And if we ever track down that snuff film guy and have to dig through footage,
Yeah,
that's where we're going to get that aggravated willpower.
I've got some dangling threads there. Got Millie looking into Simon to see if there's any like weird shit going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Got some emails with some snuff film guys.
Yep. That's coming back for sure.
And rewatching the video over and over again to see if I can figure out anything about what the fuck is going on and what are they building in there.
I was trying not to do that while you were talking about it, but yeah, the Tom Waits song was in my head.
I was thinking of like the Murder in the Red Barn song.
Okay.
Yeah.
I issued the introductions at the start. Can we do the sort of introductions now? Can you just each say what your name is and what the name of your character was?
My name is Michelle, and I was playing Sonia Bacon, who comes up with amazing plans that work all the time.
Have you got anything to plug? Sorry, before you as well.
No, I don't do shit.
Okay.
All right. My name is Logan. I was playing a very bad impression of a Frenchman, or I should say a bad impression of someone doing a bad impression of a Frenchman. Felix Ducat. It's been a lot of fun. All of Sonia's plans are tippity top, A+.
And I've been Lavaita and I've been your storyteller.
I forgot Fallout on Sunday.
Glad you
Watch
mentioned that. Thank you for watching this episode of our game of Hunt of the Reckoning. The next session will take place on the 17th of July, hopefully. The next game on this channel should be Shattered Footsteps, which is our ongoing die campaign, which is tomorrow at 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. Central European, and 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight. And Masquerade Lavaita, which is our ongoing Call of Cthulhu game, which will be on Saturday at 9 p.m. BST and 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight. For more information on the channel, please check our Discord. If you want more information on TTRPGs, we've got over 130 videos on our YouTube now. Thank you very much to our wonderful players. Thank you very much to you for watching, and good night.
Bye. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.